started on our first topic today, which is, generally the state of quality of Cuban cigars. We all know that in the late 90s and the first few years of the millennium, they had some serious issues with both quality control and the performance of their cigar, and frankly with their tobacco too. How do you perceive the condition of the Cuban cigar today?
Well, yeah, we all know that Cuba had a problem in the late 90s, early 2000s. And after the cigar boom, they literally just conveyor belt, get it out. They learned the lesson because obviously the new one, Nicaraguan, Honduras, Dominican, were upscaling their cigar market, and very good quality cigars were coming out to the market and affecting Cuban cigars. So obviously Cuba's role of team who used to run started changing. So fresh blood came into Habanos itself, and that's what made it good. And the other thing that made it really well is when Artades injected $500 million into Habanos. That helped Cuba to get lots of new materials, not machines, but draw checking systems.
Yeah, in fact, the machines that we've seen in Havana, I saw for the first time in 1992 at Tabacalera de Garcia in the Dominican Republic when Dick DiMeola was showing Marvin and I around, which is, I think, today still the largest hand-rolled cigar factory in the world. And Marvin took a picture of this little machine, and DiMeola almost tackled him and said, "You cannot take a picture of that machine. It's secret." Well, today, many factories around the world use that same machine, and the Cubans now say that every factory that they have has a draw test machine. They're not draw testing every cigar, but they are doing a selection every day of the production that comes off the benches.
That's right, Gordon. So they draw all the larger ring gauges, and they are checked 100%. Since they've had the machines in all the factories, there is virtually no problem on draw problems. But on the scale, not just draw problems, they've upscaled their blending as well. The quality of tobacco has increased tremendously. And you can see that from box codes from 04 onwards. Big difference. And Cuba's even getting to the stage now, they're getting into the packaging, getting more with commercial market, which they have to, otherwise they're going to get left behind. We all know in the old days they used to make plain boxes, but now when they do presentations, they make the presentations complete from the outside in. We'll talk about that as time goes along as well.
Ajay, can we go back to, you mentioned the quality of cigars from 04 onward being better. One of the things, if you're looking for Cuban cigars, when we first started the magazine, there were the box code was coded and you didn't know the date. They abandoned that now. The box code is very clear, the year of production, the month of production on the box of cigars. You mentioned that from 2004 onwards, things have been good. That's certainly been reflected in our ratings. Over the past year, we've rated 71 scores of 90 points or higher to Cuban cigars. Many of those with box codes from 2008, 2009, 2010, even some current year production. Exceptional quality nowadays. Ajay, so you say that from 2004 onwards, the quality has been very good. Years to avoid? Before that, maybe back to...
Oh, I mustn't say that, but that means there's going to be a lot of old cigars lying around between late 1999, I can say that, and the early 2000s. Yeah.
That's off the record, AJ, don't worry.
That's off the record, okay. But, so, between late 1999 2000s, not every single box is bad.
Certainly.
Yeah. You can pick up a box up, and I've done it in the past, and I've got lots in my collection as well, which I've opened up. The cigar has got no smell whatsoever. It smells like a dead cigar until you light it, and it's a different beast. It just opens up, and the flavor is intense. So, yeah, follow your nose. But if you have that gut feeling that the box is good, try it, and then you'll know.
And what about draw problems from those years?
Oh, there was a tremendous problem in those years. Lots of plug cigars. Mainly plug cigars. I wouldn't say there was so much in the blending, but there was a lot of plug cigars. And out of a box of 25, you know, if you have to throw away 6, 7 cigars, that's a lot of cigars.
That's a lot of cigars.
Yeah. I mean, even throwing one cigar away, it hurts. Especially when they're Cubans.
But certainly those problems are behind him. I think, Gordon, you and I, on all these trips to Cuba, I can't remember more than maybe one cigar that had any type of a major draw problem. We smoked a lot of cigars on these trips to Cuba. And I don't remember more than one cigar, perhaps, having a problem.
No, I think that's absolutely right. And I mean, we all know it's a hand-rolled product, so at some point in every factory's production, you're going to come across a plug cigar. It's part of the price we pay for it being a hand-rolled, you know, real artisan product. But on the other hand, as we pointed out this morning, there is technology that makes it less likely that you are going to encounter a draw problem, and that they definitely have made the investment and the effort to control that.
You know, in cigar market picked up. It hit a dip when the recession hit. We all know that, because everything that's niche in life, we all like back up. Rather than buying boxes, we start buying, you know, box of 10s, packs of 5s and everything. England had an exception, and this shows at the Habano's meetings that we have, where UK, their growth was up year to on, from up to current. And every year we've been up between 4 to 5%. So that shows now
4 to 5%.
45%, yeah, on the previous years. We have between 4 to 6 million Cuban sticks received in UK. It's a small number compared to the rest of some of the other, like Europe, Spain has roughly about, off my head if I can remember, between 45 to 50 million sticks a year. So it's a big difference between them and us. But we do get good quality Cuban cigars. And the good thing about Hundreds and Francos in UK, every single box is open. Anybody you say to me that, oh, I want a sealed box, you're not going to get it from us. Every single box that comes to the UK market is open, checked, and got H&F stamp on it as well. Even we check it when it gets into the shop.
So for those of you who don't know, Hundreds and Franco is the distributor importer for the United Kingdom. So every box that comes in is checked first by them, opened up.
Yeah, every single box.
What do they do during that inspection process? How thorough is it? What's the bottom?
They check very, very good. They open the box up. Every single box they receive is always sealed. Now when they open the box up, they check the color, which is always left to right, color coding. So you have your dark to light, 13 cigars at the top, 12 cigars at the bottom. The same principle underneath. They check that. They randomly pick the cigars up, which they check feeling by hand. So if there's any loose spots, the box is rejected. And it goes back to Habano as well. They send the stock back. Not one cigar, they'll send the box back. Yeah, if the box had, because UK does not get box and single cigars to replace. They just get boxes. So after they check that, they smell the cigar, and they started putting the H&F guarantee in here. So every single box will have this to say that it's been inspected. You know, sometimes we have hundreds of boxes. This may drop out, so it doesn't mean to say that, you know, they haven't put it in there. Well, we try and make sure it's in there.
We can hold that for you. Gee, I said the same thing yesterday. AJ, I mean, one of the things that, just apart from the tobacco quality and the construction improvement, the Cubans have done a good job, and I actually think part of this is they've taken lessons from the Dominican and Nicaraguan cigar industry. In fact, I had a very important man down there tell me about one of their latest prestige brands, and I can't even tell you what it is. I promised him I wouldn't, but he said the reason we have marketed this cigar the way it is being marketed is because of a Dominican cigar. So can you tell us a little bit of it, starting out particularly with the regional cigars, which the UK has had a great one recently. Can you tell us a little bit about how they are conceived and what process the UK goes through, or any country goes through, to get their regional edition?
Voy para Marcané, llego a Cueto, voy para Mayarí.